Hello, everyone. Did you read the article titled Immigration Raids Spark National Debate? It's a dramatic look at the rising tension between federal immigration enforcement and local resistance in Los Angeles. The story begins with ICE detaining dozens of people, some of them legal residents, sparking protests across the city. Soon after, President Trump deployed 2,000 National Guard troops, calling the protests a threat to order. But California leaders pushed back, calling the move inflammatory and unnecessary. This conflict raises bigger questions about civil liberties, state authority, and the role of the military in handling protests. We'll now take the first step by reflecting on a few quiz questions. Let's take a closer look at today's story by checking your understanding with a short quiz. You can pause if you need more time to think. Ready? Let's get started. First question, what triggered the protests in Los Angeles according to the article? A. A new immigration law passed in California. B. A large-scale federal immigration raid by ICE. C. Budget cuts to city police services. D. A controversial speech by the mayor. Take a moment to think about it. The correct answer is B. Dozens of people were detained during these raids, which included legal residents. This sparked public anger and led to widespread protests in neighborhoods like Westlake and downtown Los Angeles. Number 2. How did the federal government respond to the protests? A. By ordering mass deportations nationwide. B. By filing lawsuits against California officials. C. By sending National Guard troops to Los Angeles. D. By organizing a public forum for discussion. Consider your answer carefully. The correct answer is C. President Trump signed an order deploying 2,000 troops to maintain control. The defense secretary also mentioned that Marines were on standby. This escalated the tension between state and federal governments. Time for a quick true-false quiz. Number 3. The federal government officially invoked the Insurrection Act to justify troop deployment. Think about your response. The answer is false. Although some officials described the protests as a violent insurrection, the White House never formally invoked the Insurrection Act, which would have given them broader military authority. Number 4. Some detainees were unable to access legal support after being arrested. Reflect on your answer. The answer is true. Immigrant advocacy groups reported that several individuals were detained without access to lawyers. This raised major concerns about due process and civil rights violations. Having explored the article through these questions, let's now engage in a discussion to delve deeper into the themes presented. Consider the following question and share your thoughts. Here is a question for you. What can be done to prevent future conflicts between protest groups and the government while preserving democratic rights? That's a vital question, especially given what we saw in Los Angeles. What's your opinion? How do we reduce these conflicts without compromising democracy?
Absolutely. I think the first step is improving communication and transparency. When governments explain their actions clearly, people are less likely to feel ignored or threatened. Also, law enforcement needs proper training, not just in crowd control, but in rights-based policing. It's about respecting the right to protest while ensuring public safety. And beyond that, we need real accountability. Independent oversight boards can review how protests are handled and whether force was justified. That kind of transparency builds long-term trust. We also need to strengthen cooperation between police and local communities, not just during protests, but before tensions rise. When people see law enforcement working with them, not against them, they're more likely to remain peaceful. Governments must also clearly explain why certain actions are taken. Without that clarity, citizens often feel excluded or mistrustful. And of course, police need training that emphasizes rights-based response, not just how to control crowds, but how to support lawful protest.
Thanks for staying engaged today. This article reminds us that protests are not just moments of disorder, they're expressions of public voice. How governments respond to them reveals what kind of democracy they are upholding. Using force may offer control in the short term, but transparency and accountability build trust in the long run. Let's keep thinking about how we can protect civil rights while maintaining public order. See you next time.